Welcome to this week's edition of NFL Previews and Picks. This week, the Broncos, Titans, Chiefs, Cardinals, San Diego Chargers, and Seattle Seahawks have the week off. Now let's get to the games. At Detroit Ford Field, the San Francisco 49ers come in to play the Detroit Lions. This game is between two of the big surprises so far this season. Of course, you have the undefeated Lions of Matthew Stafford, Megatron, and Ndamukong Suh. And then there's the Niners of Jim Harbaugh, Alex Smith, and Frank Gore. What a great name for a running back. There is not an expert on the planet who would have predicted that coming into Week 6, there would only be one loss between these two teams. Detroit stopped a more experienced team in the Bears last week and should continue their role at home. Lions win. At Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the St. Louis Rams come in to play the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl champions. A year ago, people were saying how good the Rams were going to be. Not so fast. And last year, people were wondering how the Pack could get through the season with all their injuries. I think it worked out pretty well, don't you? I'm not all that ready to anoint Aaron Rodgers as the next great quarterback, though. As for the Rams, they have not yet lived up to last year's promise. Unless they have some secret defense that will stop Rodgers and the Pack, there is almost no way they win this game. Pack wins. At the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Georgia, the Carolina Panthers come in to play the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, Carolina is all about Cam Newton. The guy is good but still young and learning. Yes, he can get even better. Pretty scary, actually. You know what you get with the Falcons. A run-first offense with a passing game featuring future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez and a good but not great defense that really missed John Abraham last week. Carolina is good and maybe better than most think, but I think Atlanta has the experience and, of course, home field to win this game. At Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, the Indianapolis Colts come in to play the Cincinnati Bengals. The story here is an off-the-field one. When or will Mike Brown of the Bengals release Carson Palmer from his contract or trade him? The deadline is coming up, and Brown is risking getting nothing in return for Palmer, who is retired, instead of play for the Bengals. That's okay. Andy Dalton has held down the fort pretty nicely for a rookie. What is there to say about the Colts? You know that $90 million that Peyton got, it's looking like it might not be enough. Bengals win. At MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the Buffalo Bills come in to play the New York Giants. Talk about another team on one of those amazing rolls. The Bills are winning games that over the past few years they would have lost by double digits. Chan Gailey really has the offense playing at a very high level, and the defense is holding up its end of things. As for the Giants, they are probably still a little perplexed by last week's loss to the Seahawks. As am I. This is a Super Bowl winning team that couldn't close out a game it seemingly had won at the very end. There were years when this game might have been unwatchable. Not this year. I'm sticking with the Bills. Bills win. At Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Jacksonville Jaguars come in to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Blaine Gabbert, meet one of the toughest, meanest defenses you'll ever see. I don't care if they are getting old. The Steel Curtain is still one of the best defenses around. Gabbert is in for a rough day. Blaine, also watch Big Ben play on one foot. Total pro. The Steelers win. At FedEx Field in Washington, D.C., the Philadelphia Eagles come in to play the Washington Redskins in an NFC East battle. You know it's bad when the team that usually wins the offseason is better than the team that was built to win a championship right now. That's what you have in this NFC East matchup. Philly has just not gelled yet defensively, and their offense has turned the ball over way too much. There are even calls for Vince Young to start. Yikes. For the Redskins, they are usually the team that signs all the prime free agents and then falls flat on its face during the regular season. Philly is favored, which is sort of a surprise considering the record. High scoring game, and I'm going with the Skins. At M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, the Houston Texans come in to play the Baltimore Ravens. Here's another one of those games where these two teams are a lot alike. Both teams have run-first offenses and good defenses. This is one of those games that could be 17-10 or 35-32. Houston is currently the class of the AFC South, and the Ravens are fighting it out with Pittsburgh in the AFC North division. Not sure I want to believe in Matt Schaub, Arian Foster, and the Texans just yet. Ravens win. At Oakland Alameda County Stadium, the Cleveland Browns come in to play the Oakland Raiders. Wow. Just a few years ago, this game would be a yawner. Not this year. Both of these teams have looked good at times. Of course, with the death of Al Just Win Baby Davis, the Raiders are now on a mission. Did you see that emotional win last week? Amazing. Raider Nation will certainly be out in force. While Cleveland is making strides with Pat Shurmur, Colt McCoy, and Peyton Hillis, I'm not sure that they will have enough to stem the emotion. Raiders win. At Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, the Dallas Cowboys come in to play the New England Patriots. The over-under on this game could be the story. Right now it's 55 points. You know what that means. Balls flying all over the field and no defense. That probably favors the Pats, but the Cowboys could break out too. Tom Brady is following up his MVP season with more big numbers this year. Tony Romo of the Cowboys is just getting killed in the media, and it's not just because he played hide and seek at his bachelor party. I would love to see the Cowboys win, but the Pats are just too strong offensively. Patriots win. At Tampa Bay, Raymond James Stadium, the New Orleans Saints come in to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an NFC South matchup. This game could go a long way in determining the division winner, even though it is still early in the season. Josh Freeman is great, but he is no Drew Brees. Both teams have good running games, but in the end, it's the play of the quarterbacks that will determine the winner. Saints win. At Soldier Field in Chicago, the Minnesota Vikings come in to play the Chicago Bears. Boy, talk about terrible scheduling for the Bears. They get division rival last week and lose. This week they get Minnesota. The Bears' defense showed some holes last week, so look for Adrian Peterson to have a big day. Donovan McNabb needs to step it up and start playing better too. For Chi-Town, they just ran into an immovable object last week, so they may find the going a lot easier this week. Jay Cutler was thrown all over the field last week as the Bear offensive line needs to protect him better. Overall, the Bears are more talented and experienced than the Vikes right now and should win this game. And finally, on Monday night, the Miami Dolphins come in to MetLife Stadium to play the New York Jets, an AFC East matchup. Matt Moore comes off the bench to play for Chad Henne, who was knocked out of last week's game. It's not much of an upgrade, if you ask me. The Jets' problem is they can't run, and Mark Sanchez is just not ready to be the take-it-all-on-his-shoulder pads type of quarterback. The Jets still have that Rex Ryan-led defense, so Matt Moore should see some things he has not seen in a while, having not played much in the past few years. This game could be a dud, with the Jets winning. And there you have it, this week's NFL previews and picks.